So here we are, the follow-up to the Potatoes Are Life challenge. So I'm going to be quick about this video and try to download as much as I can on how this challenge worked. Well, let me be specific and go from top to bottom because I have notes. So I'm going to share with you the pros and cons of this Potatoes Are Life challenge, what I ate on the challenge, and I'll insert some pictures so you can see what I did during the challenge. Like, did I exercise? Did I drink more water or less water? What pitfalls did I fall into? Did I cheat at all during this challenge? I'm going to be as raw and as honest with you as possible so that you understand my results in perspective. And then lastly, I'm going to share my weigh-in. And I did weigh in 2 days after the challenge was over. And I felt like that was probably the best because sometimes like when you first do a challenge and you return back to eating, it can affect your results. And I wanted to see what would happen when I returned to real life. So here we go. So the challenge was for 7 days exactly. And I followed that challenge for the complete 7 days. I did not skip a day. So that's number one. If you want to see the challenge in its entirety, the document, if you ever want to do it for yourself, lives on my website at kimjagwe.com. So you can go there and find it at any point if you ever want to give it a try yourself. But on the challenge, I stuck to whole foods, plant-based, and I tried not to do anything that wouldn't be considered a whole food. I did limit my fruit intake to about 1 to 2 servings a day. We're going to talk about that. And then also I limited natural foods that contain fat, like avocados, nuts, and seeds. I didn't consume any of that during this challenge. I was faithful to that. Also, my water intake, I had hoped to increase it, but I didn't. I just kept drinking the same amount of water I always drink. And I have like a 64-ounce container that I fill up usually once for the whole day, and then I'll get a little bit more at bedtime or closer to bedtime, not too much because your girl can't hold it. But I did not end up increasing my water intake like I had hoped. That was kind of a fail. The pros on this, there are some really good pros. Number one, I was always full when I ate a large potato with some non-starchy vegetables on the side, and those non-starchy vegetables look like salads or broccoli. I did have some starchy vegetable. I limited myself to about a 1/4 cup of corn because it's my favorite with potatoes, so I did enjoy that. But I'll insert pictures of what my meals look like. So number one, I was always full, and I didn't struggle with hunger whatsoever when I was eating potatoes. They're very, very satisfying. There were a couple occasions where I couldn't even finish a large potato. I mean, these were big beasts of a potato, and they were just russets usually, or like a butter potato. I don't think I had any red skins during this time. But yeah, so I stuck to potatoes. Number two, there was really no thinking involved. I didn't stress over what to have for dinner. I already knew what I was gonna have for dinner, and usually I would just steam a big pot of potatoes at the beginning. I steamed a big pot of potatoes at the beginning of the week, and then I steamed a few more midweek when I ran low. And I just knew I was eating potatoes every day, so it wasn't like ooh, I feel like this or I feel like that. It was just, I'm having a potato today. And so it took the guesswork out of eating. Number three, I did enjoy some of the meals that I made. I really liked these potato patties that I made. It made me think outside the box on how to prepare potatoes in a different way. So I found ways that I really enjoyed the potatoes. Not only that, my family loved them too. So that was a win-win for all of us. I could just do like one big dish of potatoes and then prepare them with some spices, and everybody ate them, and everybody added something different on the side. My kids had more avocado and nuts and seeds with their foods, and I just stuck to non-starchy veg and potatoes. But I enjoyed them, some of the recipes that I made that I hadn't made previously to this challenge. And then the last pro, I did lose some weight, and I'm gonna share with you what those final results are in just a little bit. But that was a pro. I was kind of excited about that. I said in the video that, or in the previous video, that I expected to lose between a half a pound, anywhere from a half a pound on up to maybe a full pound. And I exceeded that a little bit, so I was excited about that. Now the cons, and there were some real cons. First of all, y'all, I had all these grand plans when I went into this. I was gonna make a potato leek soup. I was gonna do all these different recipes, and I didn't, because life was busy. And not only am I, I'm not teaching, I'm on summer vacation, but I still run, my husband and I still run our company, Soul Studios. And then we started my new company, which is called God's Perfect Size. And I was knee deep in the middle of business for those two companies. And I was also in the middle of my book edits, which, by the way, my book is officially live. And no, this is not a go out and buy it, because let me just caution you, I told you my dream is to write Bible studies, and I like doing a biblical study around weight loss and food addiction. So I did a spiritual book concerning that. So if you look it up and you think, I'm not really into that, I'm here to tell you beforehand, it's a Bible study based weight loss program that I am doing. So that's what the book is about. But the book edits were consuming a lot of my time at that time. So there just wasn't a lot of room for me to be creative in the kitchen because I was a busy mama. And next on the cons list, I did have some cravings. And I've heard people have mixed reviews. Some say they're so full and satisfied they don't crave anything. Other people say that the cravings became intense. I noticed somewhere around day 3, for some reason, even though potatoes are starch and you should get your sugar fix, I have a bit of a sugar problem, which I know you're gonna throw in Candida and all this other stuff. No matter what it is, I was craving something sweet. And that got hard on day 3 and day 4. Y'all, I was chasing my children around, like just smelling their popsicle, because I really wanted some popsicle or like some juice, and I was struggling with that. I did move things around because I noticed my cravings came more in the evening after dinner, and probably because I usually have something sweet at the end of a meal. So all I did to combat that craving was just have my 1 or 2 fruit servings after dinner instead of earlier in the day like I usually do. I had them after dinner, and then that helped. And I sucked down some watermelon because, oh my gosh, it was life. When it's hot, I love watermelon. And so that's what I did to combat the cravings. And the last con, which I'm not really sure is a con, but it was a concern in my thoughts. So whenever I do challenges like this, or any kind of weight loss challenge, I find that I get to the end of the challenge and then the weight slowly creeps up after the challenge is over. Maybe you lost water weight in the beginning. I was concerned about that. And so for me, mentally, I just kept thinking, I had some results, but I'm not confident they're gonna stick. Once you return back to your normal eating style, am I gonna land right back at between 149 and 150 where I was? I don't know. So that's a con for me, that mental game of, are these changes gonna stick? I lost the weight during the challenge. Do I have to stay on this challenge to maintain this particular weight loss? Or can I go back to eating the way I was, which is still plant-based, whole foods, but every once in a while I'd have a peanut butter sandwich on a piece of whole wheat Ezekiel bread, and not peanut butter per se, but like, what do they call it, that powdered stuff, PB2 or whatever, you mix it with a little bit of water. I tend to mix it with milk because it comes out creamier. Try that sometime. But yeah, I would make, can I have that on occasion? Like, when I say on occasion, I mean like once a week. I usually treat myself on Saturdays to that. So I don't know, we'll see. I still don't know if it's gonna stick, but there we are. Those are the cons. Now, what I ate, I told you that I would insert pictures here, so enjoy this little bit of B-roll. Here's the food. These are the foods that I ate, and you'll see that I had some version of a steamed, a mashed, or a baked potato. Usually it was a salad because it was a no-brainer. I just made a salad on the side, whether it was a tomato cucumber salad or whether it was romaine lettuce and tomatoes and onions and whatever else. It was usually, most of the time, raw veggies on the side. And then if I had a cooked veggie, it was almost always, I guarantee you, it was almost always broccoli on the side of that plate, because those are my go-tos, and that's what my freezer is full of. Now, for anything, did I cheat at all? I did. Okay, so listen up. I did say on this challenge that if there was a special event or something coming up, just enjoy it. I followed my own advice, because right on July the 8th, my wedding anniversary, it was my 21st wedding anniversary. So my husband and I went out to brunch together, and I had a cup of coffee and I had the one meal that was not on plan, and I enjoyed my time with my husband, and we sat on a bench and we laughed and talked about the past, and we dreamed about the future. That's what we did for our anniversary, and we also had brunch together, and I enjoyed every bit of it. And when I walked out of there, I walked right back into the plan, and I thank God that I'm able to do that, because there's enough freedom mentally that I was able to just know that's a sometimes event and this is life. So that's what I did. As far as exercise, I didn't increase any of my exercise. I walk almost every day, at least 5 times a week. I'll go out for about 2 to 3 miles and just walk. And usually it's a brisk pace, so I am power walking. I didn't change what I was doing. I didn't up my exercise for the challenge to get better results. That stayed the same. And also, as you know, the water stayed the same. So basically, I didn't do anything different around water or exercise. I stuck to the plan, except for the one meal, and it was a brunch, and and I did try to limit what I ate on the brunch. So I just had some pancakes and some coffee, and then I just went right back on plan. So I tried to pick something at the brunch with my husband that I knew wouldn't throw me too far off. And those pancakes were good. I mean, they were really good. So there's that. Now for the final results. So dun, 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 here's the footage of my current weight 2 days after the challenge ended. And as you can see, I lost about 2 pounds. I weighed in yesterday. Today is, let's see, the 17th, so about the 16th I weighed in, and it was still the same. So far it's still holding, and I'll give you an update as we go on. But yeah, so far it's still holding. And there you have it. That's everything that I can think of concerning the potato challenge. And if you decide to give it a try, don't forget the document lives at kimjagwe.com, and it's a free download, so if you ever want to go there and pick it up, it's there available for you. So overall, here's the bottom line. Would I do this challenge again? Probably not, because I'm a variety eater. I like different foods, and I was like fiending for some rice on this challenge. So I like to mix my starches up. So this definitely was just a challenge. It's not a lifestyle for me. It could be for somebody else, but for me it is not, because I like to mix my foods up. It keeps it interesting for me. And why limit myself to potatoes? Now, would I eat potatoes more consistently? Yeah, because I can see why people choose this kind of vegetable for a challenge. It's very filling, they're low in calories, they're just very satiating, and so it was really good. And I can have those several times a week, but I am gonna go back to I have to measure my rice, because potato I found myself not really wanting to overeat on, but rice, I tend to want to overeat on rice, so I can see why this challenge works. But I did miss my rice, so I still have to go back to measuring out my rice so that I just don't turn into a rice ball in the whole process. So yeah, I'm going to incorporate more potatoes in my diet, but no, I won't go back to making this a lifestyle change. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed my update, and if you did the potato challenge, I would love to know your results. Did you find success on the challenge? Did you enjoy it? Would you do it again? Let me know in the comments below, and if you have a different version or variation of the challenge, I would love to hear about it. Also, I think I'm going to try something different in the future, so I'll keep you posted on that. In the meantime, you guys, my book is live and I'm so excited. I did the paperback and I did the workbook, and I'll insert pictures of what that looks like here. I am so excited to finally be embracing this dream of walking in women's ministry. And with that being said, I hope you follow your heart. I hope you follow your dreams and you go after something that you really want to do in this lifetime, because we only get this time here in this particular way to do these things. So go after your dreams, and don't let age or sex or anything else stop you. Do what you were created to do and find joy in it. All right, loves, until the next video, make sure you like and subscribe and share this video if you are so inclined. And also, I would love your support. Just if you are a praying soul, pray that this book and the ministry that I'm walking into would be to the glory of God. And until the next video, take care. Bye.
If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and